Hey everybody, welcome to another robot review, and we're actually going to do another unboxing. I know what this one is, pretty sure. And we're going to get into it and do a light review of the figure itself. It's going to be a busy season for this, so there's going to be a lot of them coming up. So, got my box cutter, got my box here. Let's get into it. It's the age of the primes. So, several of the figures are going to be prime figures. Not prime as in, hey, this is a free prime figure, but as a in their title. So and so Prime, Optimus Prime, all these primes, right? The last one we did was Megatronus, who didn't really have Prime in his name. The original Primes, for the most part, they didn't all have Prime in their name. That was kind of added later, but this guy, all of them in his cardboard wrapping. I'm kind of disappointed in how they labeled him on the box, because this is in the comics. Most of them didn't have the prime affectation. They were a prime as an assumed, like that's what they were, not as part of their name. And having it attached to this guy's name makes it silly. But this is Prima Prime. He should just be Prima, because he's the one that the Prime name came from. He was the first of the Primes. He's their, more or less, was their leader, other than Primus himself. And got some nice box art on the back there. He's looking kind of vicious there. The other Prime's standing up on the side. It's him, it's Vector, and it's Alpha Trion. And I have all three of those. I have two of the other guys over there, so maybe I'll set them up like that and see if I can recreate that. But let's get into them after a quick drink. Hit the spot. All right. Got a little slice here at the top of the box. Of course, he is Studio Series, I think. It doesn't say so, but it's that type of a box. He's Voyager class, so he's good sized. You would think all of the primes would be leader class, but I think they wanted to keep the price point within a certain budget. All right. Now, unlike some of the others, he does not have an extra accessory pack on the back. His accessories are all packed in with him. So we're going to see about that, about everything that he's got. Got to cut through his binding material here. The cats see new boxes, and so they want to get in. And I do not want them to get in right now. One of his arms was loose from his binding, so he must have been trying to climb out already. No container shall contain me. He feels kind of hefty. All right. So let's put that aside for a minute before we get into the accessories. And here we are. He's got a little bit of a backpack, but that's from his vehicle mode, which we're not going to transform him into tonight, of course. I don't do transformation videos because they're kind of awkward for me. But he's got good posability, good maneuverability. He has a spot on his chest here that opens up for the Matrix, because he had the original Matrix of Leadership, right? And it plugged in right there. So in his accessories, on the hilt of his sword, he has the Matrix of Leadership. Decent head sculpt there. Not bad. Little bit of range of motion, you know, not much. He feels like a relatively solid figure, though. The plastic feels good. The plastic feels like decent plastic, which you don't always get with modern Hasbro stuff. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's iffy. But this feels like good plastic. And most of his pieces are filled in. He doesn't have a whole lot of hollow spaces. Like his arms are filled in. His legs are filled in by the wheels from his truck mode because he turns into like a truck van kind of thing. Let me see if I can squeeze that out without. I'm going to have to cut it. Going to have to cut. All right, so here's the hilt of his sword, of course. And it has the matrix that plugs in on one side, so he can have the added power of the matrix to his sword, I suppose. I'm going to pull it off. Real little. Little plug in the back that puts on the framework there. Sneeze. I've been sneezing the last few hours, so excuse me. We're going to take the matrix. I'm going to pop open his chest piece. Right? I'm going to plug it in to there. Got it backwards. And it's upside down. And now it won't come out. But that's fine. It's in there. We're going to leave it. That way it won't get lost. I'm going to get his sword blade out of the package here. And that'll complete his accessories. So we've got the sword blade. We've got the hilt. They plug in like that. Real simple. And he has hinged fingers, which is a nice feature in a modern figure. They don't all have to be individual, but it is nice to have them open and closed. I've got a Starscream that has this. I have a Megatron somewhere that has this. The Tarn figure and the Bludgeon figures all have this. I wish it would become standard for most everybody. We're going to put this into his hand, and he's got his sword so he can defend the Matrix against any who would dim its light, which would be Megatronus later when he becomes the Fallen. So we're going to put all this packing material back. Hold on, the instructions there. He's got a nice ankle tilt and nice ankle rockers and things, and he poses pretty well. He does pose pretty nice. In another day or so, I'll probably try to get him on. I keep saying I'm going to get them on the turntable, and I just haven't yet. I will do that probably tomorrow as of this recording. I will get them on the turntable, and I will show off some of this stuff in more dynamic poses all the way around, so we can kind of start getting an idea. I don't want to do a full video on the turntable about all of them until I have all of the primes. I am pretty much set on getting all of them. We still need Alchemist, which is on the way. He's on pre-order. We need Micronus, who is not been released yet or revealed. We have Onyx Prime, who's been revealed. Oh, I got to get that figure to complete my Shockwave collection. If you're an IDW comics fan, then you know why. Onyx is out, but not for pre-order yet, so he's not really like released yet. But he's he's been shown. I know exactly what he looks like and what he's all about. Solus Prime is on pre-order. That one's going to be for my daughter, so I probably will have to wait until she has had a chance to open her and play with her before I can do anything with her on the turntable and do any reviews. Who else? Liege Maximo. They have not said anything about Liege Maximo. He's on some of the box art. He's on the box art. You know how they did the statues, right? On Megatronus's box art, Liege Maximo is the guy at the back here with the big long horns looking almost like a Unicron type figure. I'm interested in seeing what they do with him. Because he was kind of like the Loki of the Primes. He was playing all sides and being sneaky for power, and he's one of the reasons why everything went the way it did. But he has not been announced or shown off yet, and I'm eager to see what he looks like when they get to him. Who else? Is there anybody else? Let's see. We got Megatronus, Prima, Alchemist, Vector Prime, Alpha Trion, Solus Prime, Micronus, Liege Maximo. You got Optimus Prime, who's the 13th Prime, technically. That leaves us with 9. I don't remember who else is left. I'm going to have to brush up on it. Because we've got other primes. We've got Sentinel Prime and Nova Prime, but those guys were primes after the initial 13. They weren't part of the 13. I don't remember, to be honest. Oh well, I guess we'll find out because they got a long ways to go. So, anyway, here's Prima. I'm not going to call him Prima Prime. I'm just going to call him Prima. Just like I call Megatronus just Megatronus. I don't call him Megatronus Prime. Alpha Trion is an Alpha Trion Prime. Some of the other ones, Vector Prime is fine. Alchemist Prime, Solus Prime, whatever. But some of these other ones I won't do that with. So anyway, keep tuning in. I've got more stuff on the way. I have the Fugitive Waspinator in his car mode from Animated still on the way. One of the very few animated figures that I plan on owning. Along with the Solus Prime review at some point. And once I get the Onyx Prime, once it's up for pre-order, you can bet. You can bet. So that's it. That's all I've got. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.